Well, we're back to school from Christmas break, and so it is time to finally get the boys together, get the staff together, and start reviewing last season's games.
We're not going to get a second chance in the game.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Happy to be here. Been hard at work on tons of content, a lot for Coach Ed, but a lot here on Chief Pigskin as well, moving stuff from the archives. Did post a mic'd up practice from Spain Park, Alabama, so you can check that one out here, available for members, just $2.99 a month. Get you access to all of our mic'd up practices. But also hitting the road this month, heading to Ohio, trying to work out some deals to collaborate with other people that are creating content, other coaches that are creating content. So anyway, hoping to head to Ohio later this month to capture more great content for you guys. For now, let's talk about review. Now, this is something that was a big part of our staffs, something that we always wanted to do. And there's no doubt that this process was better. Whoops, I'm shaking the camera a lot. I've got to stop doing that. This process was better when I had a staff that was pretty close knit. I've been a part of a few staffs that simply were not as close as other staffs. And as the head coach, of course, that's something you want to work on. You want your staff to be fairly close, right? So it's this delicate balance. You don't want to annoy everybody, but you do want the staff to want to get together in the off season. You don't, again, I get it. Everybody needs their family time, but there is an awful lot that you could get done in the off season when it comes to just reviewing your film. And so it's a good idea to get the boys together. All right, I'm going to move this camera so that I can actually touch my desk without shaking everything. All right, so without annoying the crew, you want to say, hey, let's get together, or we're going to start. Looks way too bright. We're going to get the boys together and we're going to review last year's games, right? So for example, hey, every Monday after school for the next 9 weeks, 10 weeks, 11, however many games you played, we're going to get together in Coach Jones's room and we're just going to review one of our games from last year. So if you do that, there can be a ton of good that can come out of that. Okay, so today we're just going to talk about, if you get the boys together to review last year's games, these are some things you should look for. So let's dive in. First things first, you pull up the game, try not to watch as a fan, although sometimes when your boys do something awesome or you had a big win, do not hesitate to just kind of relish in it. Enjoy it. Don't be scared to enjoy it. But first things first, when we want to look at, I like to look at just one side of the ball or the other. So we'll go all defense, then all offense. So when we're watching the defense, what we're looking for, we play a play and we're all looking for mistakes. What mistakes did we find? And they could be so many things, from simply a really bad first step that put you in a bad position, being misaligned. That's a clear mistake that we want to find. Maybe we're not approaching our block destruction at all, right? Maybe you've got linebackers just giving their whole chest to a blocker. So from technique mistakes to schematic mistakes and alignment mistakes, just have pen and paper there and write down the mistakes. And as you look, you're going, okay, when I finish, you're going to not necessarily think of these things that night, but after 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of this, you start going, what are some of the themes that we're finding? What are some mistakes we're making repeatedly? And then, is there any solution to our mistakes? It could be as simple as we are clearly not approaching our block destruction in any way, shape, or form near the way we're trying to practice it. So therefore, we need to practice this more. So where in our practice plan can we emphasize block destruction? So that's a very simple and generic example. But they could also be things like, boy, we are misaligned a lot. And when you start to find that, then you know, well, that needs to make it into our practice plan. So what mistakes are we finding when we are getting hurt? And then what did they consistently hurt us on? Sometimes it can be a certain formation that you can see, boy, they consistently got us with that one. When they went tray, right, 3-by-1, but with a tight end attached, that hurt us. Maybe they were consistently going off tackle to that trip to that tight end side, and it was hurting you. Maybe you saw that they had one screen to the boundary that hurt you consistently. So where did they hurt us, and what adjustments could we make that would possibly take that away? Now, some of these things, you just simply list it and you go, okay, we've got some missions here. We've got this list of 3 to 5 things, which is why I think it's important that right now is review season. Because now you make your list of your 3, 5, 10 things, areas where you know that as a program you need to improve, and you take those into clinic season. So now you're in clinic season, and these are the things you're looking for as you're talking to coaches from out of state, from these clinics, right? As you're talking to guys, you're learning, you say, these are some things we were hurt by. Well, how do you handle this? So I think that's how you approach review when it comes to defense. You take notes, you look for themes, and you look for what is the fix to this problem. Ask yourselves these questions, and that's why it's important to get the boys together. This is the best time of year for all your assistants to have a voice, right? A Monday night, week 9, preparing for the rivalry game, that's a tough time to get a word in for a staff. But when you're in the off season and it's an optional Monday afternoon where you could show up and watch film with the guys, that's when you get to get your voice heard. So if you're watching this and you're a young assistant and you're anxious to have a say or to be heard, those are the things you want to show up to. Show up, listen, watch, and begin to speak. There. That's my 2 cents. Now, what are we looking for offensively, right? So we've reviewed that, the defense on that side of the ball for this game. Maybe it was week 1's game. And now let's take a look at the offense. So first things, of course, I like to just pull up the negative plays. So we're going to find all the negative plays, or maybe we determine as a staff, we're going to pull up, right? Huddle does a great job sorting all plays 2 yards or less. What are some themes? All right. So I'm going to watch those and I'm looking for mistakes. First of all, you see I have written down there count. Well, what am I counting? Is there a common play that we seem to get a lot of negatives on? If so, well, I've got 2 options. I could either A, stop running that play or run it less, or I need to practice it more. I really think it's one or the other. Either I run it less or I practice it more. So I'm looking for those negative plays. And when I find them, what is my solution? Again, maybe we could just cut it out. Maybe I run like 3 variations of counter, and 2 of them we're not good at all. Maybe I don't need 3 variations of counter. Again, I'm simply shooting from the hip here, so don't take anything as judgment. And then I'm looking for big plays, the things we did well. Now I'm going to pull up all those plays 20 yards plus. What are we doing well? What are we seeing? Oh, look at this fake. Right? This was a great fake. Oh, they were misaligned to something. That's how this one actually popped. You never know what you're going to find, but I like to look for those and say, how are we doing with that? And then there's other things you can do. Each position coach can look for things. A running backs coach, are we actually carrying the ball the way that we're teaching it to be carried? And if not, what do I do next year to make sure that I'm getting that done? And then we want to actually study our opponent. So when we study our opponent, and it's so much easier, during the year, we do a lot of studying our opponent's offense. We don't study their defense as much. I'm saying on average, the average coaching staff. And I know our staffs didn't. We wanted to know, and what do we think they'll show up in? But I think this is a great time to evaluate how are they defending us. Because if you stay in this place for long, you're going to see the same staffs a lot. And there's a lot of things that you do that they will defend similarly year after year. So look at those things. Okay, how were they defending our base front? And when we went X over, what did they change? Literally just slowing down and putting those things on a whiteboard in front of you and the staff really can be eye-opening. And you will notice things that you didn't notice on that Friday night. They just so much can get by you in the chaos of the year. And even in Also this, right? Friday night, you had this big win. You're celebrating. Well, by Sunday morning or even Saturday afternoon, you're already just planning for the next week. It is hard to take time to go back and see how were they defending us. So that's why this right now is such a great time of year to do it. You might find that when you went X over, they were really hurting you with something. They made this adjustment. And then again, here comes clinic season. You find guys you know, guys you trust, guys you admire, you like the way they coach, and you ask them, you bring those problems to them and say, what solutions have you used to solve these problems? How do they align in long down and distance, third and long? What adjustments do they make? Do they simply just back up? Or are they making any personnel changes? And then how do they defend us inside the 10? I think that's important. Take a look and then think now that it's January and you got time and no pressure on you, okay, how could we hurt them inside the 10 based on how they're defending us? So these are things that I think are good to do as a staff, and now is the time. Now's the time. Set the schedule, tell the guys we're going to do one a week, and invite them to come. And if they don't come, they don't come. You can sit and do this by yourself. But it's a great time to get the squad together. I hope you enjoyed it. Hey, share this if you can, if you're willing. Otherwise, we appreciate all of you guys who support, whether you're a member or you repost us on X or you leave us a thumbs up or leave a comment. Just really grateful for any support that you give. Been creating content for a long time now, and it can be super rewarding at times, but other times you feel like you're speaking into the void. So anyway, love hearing from you guys. So thanks for joining.